Samsung's Z Flip 7 finally goes truly edge-to-edge on its cover display, matching the Motorola Razer Ultra's pioneering design from 2 years ago. That 4.1-inch Super AMOLED panel almost melts into the frame, giving you more screen real estate to swipe through notifications without cracking the phone open. Motorola still holds a brightness and smoothness advantage at 3000 nits and 165 Hz, but Samsung's 2600 nit 120 Hz panel looks impossibly sharp in darker scenes. And with Samsung's new hinge that locks at steeper angles, you can prop the Flip 7 for selfies or video calls with rock-solid stability. Next up, a materials face-off to see which phone feels premium in your hand. At first touch, the Razer Ultra feels like a high-fashion accessory. Choose Alcantara or even genuine wood finishes if you want something truly unique. Samsung goes the minimalist route with matte Gorilla Glass Victus 2 on the back and an armor-grade aluminum frame. Both carry an IP48 rating for water and dust resistance, though neither reaches IP68. Scratch resistance tests favor Motorola's ceramic exterior, while Samsung's Victus 2 holds its own under keys and coins. The Flip 7's reinforced hinge feels rock-steady through every flex position, whereas Motorola's mechanism can drift slightly under heavy weight. Ready to check whether these cover screen glories translate into real-world usability? Let's dive in. Flip phone productivity hinges on closed-screen functionality. Motorola unlocked full app support out of the box, maps, music controls, quick replies, all at 165 Hz. Samsung's larger 4.1-inch panel offers more usable area, but tucks full app mode behind a good lock install. Once set up, you'll find identical capabilities, message replies, navigation, and even simple games. Scrolling feels weightless on Motorola and crisp on Samsung, especially in low-light content. Ultimately, it's convenience versus a tiny setup hurdle. But what happens when you fold these wide-bezel beasts open? Let's find out. Open the Flip 7 and you're greeted by a 6.9-inch dynamic AMOLED 2X display in a cinematic 21:9 aspect ratio. It's vibrant, deep black, and claims improved crease resilience, though you'll still feel a faint seam. The Razer Ultra's 7.0-inch 22:9 panel pushes a silky 165 Hz refresh rate, outpacing Samsung's 120 Hz when scrolling or gaming. Samsung's warmer color profile favors photo editing on the go, while Motorola's extra nits make it unbeatable outdoors. Both screens represent the cutting edge of foldable tech, yet each offers a slightly different viewing philosophy. Next, which processor powers these panels, and how does that affect real-world performance? Samsung bets on efficiency with its in-house Exynos 2500, 3 nanometers, trading raw power for better battery life. Routine tasks, social feeds, video streaming, texting feel fluid, and the phone rarely heats up. Motorola's Snapdragon 8 Elite, paired with 16 GB of RAM on higher-end models, blasts through benchmarks and multitasking with ease. Rumors suggest Samsung may introduce a Snapdragon-powered Flip 7 Pro soon, but for now, the choice is clear: efficiency or full-tilt speed. If you juggle heavy games or multi-window workflows, Motorola pulls ahead. Up next, memory and storage comparisons that could sway your decision. The Flip 7 starts at 12 GB RAM with 256 GB of superfast UFS 4.0 storage, upgradable to 512 GB, 16 GB, and locks in 512 GB, with an optional 1 TB/16 GB configuration. For power users shooting 8K video or hoarding offline media, that extra headroom can be a game-changer, and UFS 4.0 speeds feel almost instantaneous on both devices. But all that power needs juice. Let's see which battery lasts longer. Motorola flips expectations with a 4,700 mAh cell that consistently outlasts the Flip 7's 4,300 mAh pack by hours in mixed-use testing. Fast charging turns into a full-blown sprint. 68 watts wired and 30 watts wireless on the Razer Ultra, with its proprietary brick, compared to Samsung's 25 watts wired and 15 watts wireless. Both support reverse charging for earbuds, but if you spend your day away from outlets, Motorola's larger battery and quicker top-offs give it a clear edge. Next, software support. Who will keep your Flip feeling fresh for years? Samsung stakes its reputation on a 7-year update promise. Android 16 and One UI 8 today, all the way up through Android 23, plus security patches. You also get Galaxy AI tools baked in, Live Translate, Note Assist, Generative Edit, without any extra hardware keys. Motorola ships the Razer Ultra on Android 15 with 3 OS upgrades and 4 years of security patches. It counters with a dedicated AI hardware key for on-the-fly Moto AI, features like Look and Talk, but longer-term support naturally favors Samsung for users who want longevity. Coming up, camera comparisons to see which flip really captures the moment. Samsung's dual-lens setup uses a 50-megapixel main sensor and a 12-megapixel ultra-wide, augmented by Galaxy AI for object removal and scene optimization. Motorola arms itself with 3 50-megapixel shooters, including a front-facing lens, and unlocks 8K video recording. In daylight, Motorola's ultra-wide brings razor-sharp detail, while Samsung's AI processing balances exposure and crushes noise. Low light remains Motorola's stronghold, but Samsung's night mode algorithms rescue more shadow information. Video stabilization feels solid on both. Choose raw versatility or polished results. Let's break down the costs next. What does premium hardware demand at checkout? The Galaxy Z Flip 7 begins at $1,199 for 256 gigabytes and climbs to $1,219 for 512 gigabytes. Motorola's Razer Ultra starts at $1,299 for 512 gigabytes per 16 gigabytes RAM, with a 1 terabyte option at $1,499. Motorola asks more, but you get more. Better cameras, extra RAM, faster charging. Samsung undercuts on entry price and wins on software longevity, making it the smarter investment for anyone keeping a phone longer than 3 years. Factor in trade-ins and carrier deals. But remember, upfront cost versus long-term value is where this comparison hinges. Now, time for the final verdict. If you crave uncompromising performance, blazing fast charging, and a camera system that flirts with flagship territory, Motorola's Razer Ultra is your champion. Its premium materials and raw specs justify the higher price. But if you value polish, a true edge-to-edge cover screen, rock-solid hinge, and an industry-leading 7-year update pledge, Samsung's Z Flip 7 offers practical excellence at a lower cost. It may trail in benchmarks, but its balanced feature set and AI tools make it a dependable daily driver. Before you decide, here's one last thought. The flip phone revolution is only gaining momentum, and both devices mark a milestone in foldable innovation. Whether you side with raw horsepower or long-term reliability, there's a flip designed for your lifestyle. Which one would you choose? Let us know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this deep dive, subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss our next foldable face-off.